Headwater Gold in the news recently. Headwater trades as HWG on the CSE in Canada, HWAUF OTC markets in the States as they deliver high-grade gold for multiple veins. The initial assays there at the Spring Peak project in Nevada. With me now to run through that news and give us a little update on the company, I've got the CEO, Caleb Stroup. Caleb, appreciate the time here. Some pretty good news here right out of the gate here. So I guess before we get into that, maybe backtrack a little bit and tell us how your 22 went. Pretty challenging year for a lot of juniors, but pretty good for you guys. Put the company together, and here you are. So Caleb, appreciate the time. What you dig in?
Yeah, so this is a relatively new story here, Headwater Gold. We listed it in June of 2021 and hit the ground running right away, immediately drilling 4 of our projects. At that point, we had already a large portfolio of projects. We drilled 4 immediately after listing, and we're fortunate enough to have 2 new discoveries, one at our Katy project along the Oregon-Idaho border, and one at Spring Peak, which you just mentioned down there in Nevada. And so that all happened, unfortunately, in the context of a pretty rough time for the junior exploration world. But we were fortunate enough immediately following that to attract Newcrest as a strategic partner. And so we brought them in as a 9.9% shareholder, as well as a partner on 4 of our projects. We structured earn-in agreements whereby they fund the exploration up to a pre-feasibility, carried exploration up to pre-feasibility. Now, Spring Peak is one of these. So we signed that series of deals in August of 22. And then began drilling again right away. We drilled 2 projects this fall. Spring Peak was the biggest. We drilled from about September to December, a little over 3,000 meters of both RC and core drilling. And the results that we dropped just yesterday are the first batch of assays that came out of that work. So quite encouraging start here. And yeah, happy to answer any questions about that came up yesterday.
Yeah, I think let's run through here and run through the goodies here for investors.
Very good. Yeah, so let's get into this news release. This is on our website right now for anyone interested in more detail. There you can also find standard cautionary statements. I encourage you to have a look at that before digging in. Headwatergold.com. So this came out yesterday. This is the first batch of assays from Spring Peak 2022 drilling. And it really is it's just a small segment of one hole. We drilled RC pre-collars from surface down to the target horizon and then finished the holes with core. So we can see exactly what's going on down there in the target zone. And so this is just from the core segment of the deepest drill hole that we were targeting this structure on. And we hit just under 16 grams per ton over 2.38 meters in one vein. And in the same hole, we hit another vein interval of 10.43 grams per ton over about 2 meters. That all is within a broader mineralized zone that's consistently mineralized over an approximately 35-meter drilled thickness. And that ran in aggregate 2.73 grams per ton. So just under 100 gram meter intercept here. It looks like we're really on to something. And importantly, it demonstrates that we have this high-grade component that we predicted from the geology, or this is exactly the kind of system we're exploring for. And it's exactly what you want to see to demonstrate potential for, a large high-grade epithermal system at depth here. So this is what this core looks like. These banding textures are exactly what we're looking for. This is a very classic epithermal quartz vein texture and is typically associated with the sweet spot right in the boiling horizon where you tend to get the higher grades. And that's what we're starting to see here. So we're very excited about this. On section, this is what this looks like. One important thing here is this is a brand new discovery that we made. And as I said, immediately after listing, we drilled one scout RC hole into this zone and hit 38 meters of a gram. Because that was RC and we were only able to look at the chips, it's difficult to determine the actual character and width and grade of individual veins. So that's why we went back and followed up with core drilling on this section. And the only results we have, as I said, are from this deepest hole, but we did hit veins in all of those holes. And it demonstrates, now even more so, a brand new significant discovery for sure. Underneath, importantly, a barren alteration cap at surface. This is what got us in here, is the character of this alteration at surface is exactly what you want to see for demonstrating potential for high grade at depth. But this doesn't have any gold. This is below detection limit gold at surface. But that doesn't really matter if you understand where you're at in the system. And as you can see here, we've demonstrated that that's a great indication, and our model works great.
Yeah, I see the word assays pending there. Obviously, that's out of your control here. When do you expect to know a little more?
So we're watching these move through the lab. It's going okay in terms of timing. And of course, as you said, factors beyond my control, but we're targeting earliest February right now to have the rest of all of the assays from this program in.
So I guess early indications here, what's planned moving forward? Get back out there again, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this these intercepts here clearly demand follow-up in a much larger program. We were somewhat limited in the scale and duration of drilling last year because we didn't get that deal in place with Newcrest until nearly September. Then we scrounged around and got drill rigs mobilized and drilled until we got chased out by a big winter down here in Nevada. But we'll be back out there in a much bigger program. All indications are next year or this year, 2023. The timing and scale of that is still to be determined, obviously, by the remainder of the assays, and we've got to work through a planning program, budgeting workflow with our partner Newcrest as well. But I think it's safe to say that we'll be out here in an expanded way in 23 for sure.
Let's move on to up a little further north there, up into Idaho, and talk about that one.
Yeah, so our Katy project, which is right along the Oregon-Idaho border, is another fantastic project where we made a discovery last year immediately after listing. We drilled underneath another alteration cell that had some low-grade mineralization at surface. But again, our goal here is to find the high-grade feeder structures. That's where the grade and margin and real value upside is. And this was another project that met all our criteria. We drilled only one core hole underneath this last year and hit 23.6 grams per ton gold over 1.95 meters in a much broader zone, again, of just under 15 meters of about 5 grams per ton. So that's exactly what we're looking at or looking for. And this one, again, is on the table for sure for future exploration in 2023. We kept this out of the Newcrest earn-in deal. So this is 100% Headwater owned, royalty-free project, pure upside for our shareholders. That's all part of our business model, to have some exploration funded by high-quality partners like Newcrest, and at the same time, hold a few projects back that are lower risk, lower cost, and high upside to give our shareholders some pure leverage to exploration success.
So I guess Caleb, let's carve a message out here for investors. Rough year last year. You seem to be in a pretty good groove now. You just laid out a very busy 23. Talk to those investors who might want to do some treasure hunting with Headwater. Yeah.
So as you say, Spring Peak and Katy, just those will be a pretty active year for us. But we've got a much larger portfolio as well, and there'll be several Newcrest earn-in projects that'll see significant exploration this year. We'll be talking about that through the spring here as the plans develop and budgets come into place. We'll have pretty steady news flow putting out the remainder of all these results and our plans for next year. So there's a lot of upcoming catalysts here. That's what one of the distinguishing factors with Headwater. We're not just working on one project at any given time, and don't have all of our eggs in one basket at all. Our risk is spread out over a number of different projects. Our funding risk is low because of the Newcrest partnership, and there's still a tremendous amount of upside here as we advance these new discoveries forward.
Okay, we'll certainly appreciate that update, and we'll look forward to keeping our eye on the wire for more. That's Caleb Stroup. He is the CEO, Headwater Gold, HWG on the CSE in Canada, HWAUF, OTC markets in the States. Caleb, thanks for that update, and look forward to checking back in when you hit the wire again.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That was great.